He started a mushroom business from his bedroom when he was only 17. And at peak season, it makes up to $10,000 a month.
The profit margins are insane.
Now that's a business worth pursuing.
I'm gonna show your viewers how to grow mushrooms with minimum equipment from home and start selling.
And how do you get customers?
I made $1,000 in a day selling at my local farmer's market.
What does it cost to start something like this? What in the world is this thing, man? Today, Hunter's gonna show you how to start your own mushroom farm from home, including what equipment you need, how much money you should spend, which mushrooms make the most money.
And then we have a pond fogger.
And what did you not learn off of YouTube?
Nothing. This whole business was built with YouTube.
And you'll even watch me build my own mushroom farm from scratch. Well, let's get started. Hunter, it's good to meet you.
Good to meet you too, Paul.
Likewise.
Absolutely.
Tell our audience what Mountain View Mushrooms is all about.
Yeah, so I grow and sell mushrooms all over Northeast PA. I supply to restaurants. I do a whole bunch of farmers markets in the area, and I grow and provide a lot of mushrooms for our community.
Out of all the businesses you could have started, what's the reason it was mushrooms? Tell us the backstory. How old were you? How old are you now?
Absolutely. So it was a really cool story. It was during COVID. So I was still in high school. I was 17 years old. My mom actually came home with a grow kit that me and my brothers were fascinated with. You can grow a little cluster of blue oyster mushrooms right from your bedroom. So I love that. I ended up buying another one and another one. And eventually I decided, hey, before I go to college, let me try to start a business out of it.
And this is year 5, 6 now.
Yeah, this is year 6.
You're doing it seasonally?
Mm-hmm. Yep, seasonal business. We just keep growing, growing, growing. And this year we're gonna do some really good sales.
Well, since we're talking about mushrooms, you probably are wondering, what in the world are we doing in front of a True Value store?
Yeah, exactly.
What are we doing here?
No, we're here to pick up some different grow supplies so we can grow our own mushrooms from home. Super easy, beginner friendly. You're not gonna be overwhelmed. The trick is to overwhelm any mold or bacteria that could potentially still be alive on this with a ton of mushroom roots.
How is growing mushrooms different than, say, fruits, vegetables, etc. in a garden bed?
Mushrooms are much like you and I. They like oxygen, opposed where plants like CO2. And my goal is to provide the perfect environment for them to grow, bringing in as much fresh air as possible. That's what we're gonna facilitate.
What do we need? I mean, are we buying a lot of stuff? How many items are we looking for?
It's gonna be pretty simple. We need straw. We need a bucket to put the straw in, and something to hold our straw as we boil it to heat it up, killing any mold or bacteria.
That's it.
That's it.
What? 3 items, you guys.
3.
Let's go get a bucket. There you go. Look at that.
American flag, too.
250 years for our great country. Boom.
We have some shavings.
If you're starting out small, this will do well.
Yep.
What is this? Yeah, like right there. I mean, I can
idea. That's great.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it. You said 3 items. We got 3 items.
Yeah.
We got a
pretty simple.
A pot. What is that? $37.99. A bucket for $5, and this was $6.99.
Yeah. Pretty cheap.
Do the math, you guys. That's all I need to get started.
That's it.
Well, wait. What about the
other than the mushroom roots? Our seeds, mycelium. That's the only other thing that we will need.
Most stores don't have that, but I know Walmart and Target and other places like that, they'll have some starters.
Yeah.
Those are what? Under $10?
$20, probably.
Gotcha. Okay. So what are some of the common mistakes that beginners can make when it comes to just buying stuff?
I wouldn't focus on having the biggest, most craziest things. It's probably overspending before you get a good idea of how to grow the mushrooms. As you'll see, some of my equipment is really jank. Like I just built it, put things together myself. So really don't overthink it. The concept is substrate, mushrooms need to eat it. Then they'll produce more mushrooms in the future.
That's it. All right, well, let's head out to where? We're going over to your house. Where is your lab?
Yep.
And then over to the growery.
Yep.
Cool.
We got a grow kit here. We got some straw.
Which you can get anywhere.
Yeah, you can get straw anywhere. It's so plentiful.
You can't find straw where you're at. I don't know, something's wrong.
Yeah, that's a problem. We're gonna make this as simple as possible.
We'll get to this later.
So you can grab some of that straw. We're gonna put it in the boiling water and we'll just kind of pack it down.
You know, I've boiled potatoes and other stuff at home, but never straw. What in the world is this thing, man?
Yeah, so this is my giant custom-made pasteurizer. And at its simplest form, it just holds the substrate and cooks the substrate to a high temperature.
Let's take a look. So obviously you built this yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
Yeah, I got the shelf from Home Depot. It basically just holds all the different tiers of racks. And all I do is heat these little substrate blocks. They're 10-pound grow blocks and heat them up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. We bring them in the lab and then inoculate them with the mushroom roots. The whole point of this is to kill competing molds and bacteria. My job as a farmer is to make sure none of that stuff is growing and only our fungus is growing.
What's this thing?
Yeah, so this is
You got the propane tank, you got a burner underneath.
Yeah, this is just a propane burner, got a propane tank. We got the barrel here. We have a float valve, so that keeps the water level consistently at, you know, about an inch from the bottom of the barrel. What happens is that water heats up and essentially makes this giant shelf a sauna.
Yeah. For any mushroom farm, Hunter, you have to have the lab and you have to have the growery. You can't do mushrooms without both, right?
No, wrong. There's many different ways you can grow mushrooms. Again, this is just a method to get to the scale that I'm at.
Where do you spend more time? I'm guessing here in the lab versus the growing? Because
100%.
once you put the blocks in there, your job's done.
The grow room is the place you want to spend the least amount of time. Not only is there spores in the air that you're going to be breathing in if you're in there for a while, which is not healthy. This is where I spend most of my time creating mushroom blocks, putting them on the shelves to incubate, and then eventually bring them over to the grow room.
And here we are at your parents' place.
Yes.
Daylight basement.
Yeah.
This is your lab.
This is exactly it. Yeah, so in the lab, I have a HEPA filter fan. That is a giant fan that essentially just blows clean, sterile air so I can work in front of. It's super critical so I don't get any mold or bacteria in these blocks that we just looked at in the cooker.
I see.
I simply have a table. This is a heat sealer where I can seal the bag shut, enabling no mold or bacteria to get inside. Yeah.
This is a whole separate thing as far as mushroom growing, right? Because you can buy these blocks and not go through any of
You can bypass it all. Yeah, you can bypass it all. You can order the entire blocks from different companies all over the country. Even myself, I actually sell to a farmer who will use my blocks to grow.
So this lab exists to make these blocks?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Allowing me to be even more profitable.
Okay, so you guys don't need this if you're getting started, right? I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
This is a separate sort of arm of the business that most people go into.
Yeah, the mushroom is super resilient. Like you can take a tiny little sample, a tiny little seed, and expand it into an infinite amount, as long as you have enough substrate.
It's amazing.
I just injected these McDonald's fries with billions of microscopic fungal cells. And in just one drop of this stuff, there is more cells than there is people on Earth.
We have all these little seeds. So I order this from a company. This is the one thing I outsource.
Yep, okay.
And they're made in the professional lab. And what I'll do is I'll take a little tiny cluster of seeds and I'll put it into one of our blocks.
That's all you need. One little seed, huh?
And this entire thing will turn into this. This only cost me 20 bucks and I can make 200 pounds of mushrooms from that. Another thing that I usually do is shut the doors and then, you know, anything that's open, and I just let this fan run. It'll pump through the air, clean all the air in this room. So essentially there's really no mold or bacteria floating around. So as I was starting out, contamination was a reoccurring theme. About 2 years ago, I lost probably, I don't know, $2,000 to $3,000 worth of product. And that was just because I wasn't being as sterile and doing the right processes. I learned, hey, why don't I just outsource from a lab, save me a lot of money, and allows me to grow more healthy mushrooms for people to eat.
Take us back to that moment though, when you lost 2 to 3 grand because of sterilization.
Yeah.
What was the gut reaction?
Yeah, it sucked. I mean, I walk in and then I started to see mold just creeping all over the blocks. So I missed out on a huge revenue opportunity, right? I started the farmers markets up. Clients are demanding and chefs have me on the menu, hey, we need the product. So this entire crop got wiped out. Not only is it I lose money, but I also lose some reputation.
Yeah,
right? I need to be consistent for my chefs and my clients at market.
Okay, let's do 25 rev. Now that's a business worth pursuing and scaling and growing. All right, we promised you guys that Hunter will teach me how to start mushroom growing as a side hustle from home. You don't need much. We just came from the store.
Yeah, we got to get you trained up. As you can see, we have a basic pot. We have our 2 little bags of straw.
Not that we need this much, but we got it.
Yeah, exactly. And then our grow kit. This is probably the most important thing you are going to need. It contains the roots of the mycelium, of the fungus that is going to eat and devour our straw. Get this, you're good to go. You can grow probably 20 times as much as long as you had enough straw from what you'd get from this kit on your own growing method.
Okay, is straw food for the mushroom?
Yes, it is. We first need to kill off any molds or bacteria living on our straw. So how we're gonna do that is with heat. So you can grab some of that straw, we're gonna put it in the boiling water, and we'll just kind of pack it down.
You know, I've boiled potatoes and other stuff at home, but never straw.
So if you didn't do this, you're just gonna basically grow a bunch of mold.
Okay.
Mold is super good at outcompeting the fungus. Kill all that stuff off and only grow mushrooms. I just got this basic stone outside. We're going real cheap on this method.
So it's on the stove, boil it for 20, 30 minutes.
Yep.
We'll come back in a few. So this is a hopper bagger, right? And you built it yourself.
I did.
Even though you could have just bought some.
I know, I could have.
Walk us through the idea behind all this. You just love tech, or what is it?
I love technology, and this enables me to produce all the mushrooms I can in a timely manner. So I would have to do this by hand. I'd have to take 1 scoop of hardwood, weigh it out to 2 pounds or 1 pound, take another scoop of soy hull, my other supplement, weigh it out to another pound, then add the proper water. Why not build a system that does it all for me? These cylinders here allow me to change the volumes of substrate. I don't think any other bagger does it. So I can change the substrates and materials based on the species and basically just have the bagger whip out 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 bags of that particular combo.
Why is it important to change the amount of each?
Some
For each species, it varies?
Yeah. Maitake mushroom is one where I like to have a little bit more hardwood than supplementation. So this is soy hull. That's another supplement I use.
All right, here's a bag. You want me to do it?
Yeah,
I'll
put it
hold
up there. There's a button here I'll click.
How much water goes into it?
6 pounds.
And this right here turns into this, as you guys probably know, within what, 3, 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. It fills up, and then once we cook it, it'll turn to something like this. And then we'll put the seeds in. You can see these little dots here. Those will expand exponentially, and then eventually turn into a full white solid block.
Cool, so this is the farm.
Yeah, this is the farm.
That's awesome. What does this look like? So part of your arrangement, we'll talk a little bit about that in detail, is taking care of the animals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Walk us through what we're doing. I see one guy, I see the little horses running around.
Yeah, so lots of animals on the farm, and my job is essentially to take care of all of them. And actually, in exchange for that, the owner lets me grow here.
How did you make that arrangement? I'm sure the audience are curious.
Yeah, so a lot of my business is predicated on just relationships. So my neighbor here has been a lifelong friend, and just so happens we live really close by. And I took advantage and I said, hey, is it possible that I could grow my mushrooms on the farm?
How much money then are you saving by
that's huge.
having the operation?
It's crazy. So mushroom farming is super cheap and inexpensive, especially when you're just starting out. You get a couple little things. Right. But the biggest problem when scaling is land and overhead, like a place to grow. It's saving me a massive amount of money, probably tens of thousands of dollars, maybe every year.
Yeah, because at least like this could cost easily over
100%. I get
$1,000.
Yeah, exactly. And I get water. I get AC to cool and heat in the summer and winters. So it's really massive.
What do you say to somebody watching who doesn't have the opportunity like you do in terms of getting started and expanding, having a growing room, etc.?
I always recommend starting small, little blocks, and then gradually growing up. And use the little things that you have to your advantage. As you're probably gonna see, there is little cookers maybe you have in your house, pots and pans, and that's just so you can get the idea of how to grow the mushroom successfully, so then when you're scaling, you can have even more success.
What about confidence? We have some younger viewers, maybe, 16, 17, side hustle. How has that grown for you, and what's your advice to just overcoming that lack of self-confidence?
Even now, when I go up to a new restaurant, I'm kind of nervous going in. So
still,
trying to get new clients is always nerve-wracking for me, at least at first, especially because usually when you go in, you have to go a second or third time to get an actual answer. But as I continue to grow my business, I've just gone to more and more clients and naturally got better at it.
Oh, look at the sprint. Now, if that's how you're sprinting to start your business, then you're on the right track. Do you want an avocado toast? Yeah, you do? Here you go. I'm not gonna, here, right there. Enjoy it. Oh, yes. Before he could turn his mushroom hobby into a real business, Hunter had to set up his company legally and properly right from the start. That's where Busy comes in. Busy helps you launch your business the smart way, forming your LLC, filing with the state, and making sure you're official with just a few clicks. And like a lot of companies in this space, Busy keeps it straightforward. No hidden fees, no confusing fine print, and no sneaky subscriptions renewing year after year. Just clear upfront pricing, and you only pay for what you need when you need it. Busy even gives you a professional business address with digital mail scanning, helping you stay organized and look legit from day one. Starting a business is exciting enough without getting buried in the paperwork, so let Busy handle the boring stuff so that you can focus on building. Click the link below and download Busy's free business guide and learn how to start the smart way from day one. How is it? I take it as good. All right. She's trying to thank me. Okay, you're good. All right, I got to get back to growing mushrooms. See you later. So where are you taking us next?
Yes, we're gonna go to the grow room. Unfortunately, there's not much left because I went to town selling as much as I could. It's 4th of July weekend, so.
How'd you do, by the way?
Great. Yeah, we probably made close to 1,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good, we'll talk about numbers later on. You spent more than you needed to. Why was that? So keep watching. Let's go check out the grow room. Where are we at? And how is this different from the lab that we just came from?
Yeah, so we're actually at a grow/incubation center. So there's some similarities to it.
Too glamorous, by the way.
Yeah, not
Doesn't
too
have to be.
Exactly. So over here we have a bunch of compost waste. These are essentially blocks that already produce mushrooms. We'll throw this out, or you can even sell it. And I have people come to the farm and they'll buy these mushroom substrate blocks, crumble it up, throw it in the garden. All it is essentially hardwood oak and soy hull. We're gonna show the audience how to make this, how to formulate it, and an even cheaper way to do it.
For sure. What did it cost you to set up this whole thing? I mean, I know you're really using just a half of a barn here.
The biggest cost to it was the rigid board. The rigid board was the most expensive thing, and insulating it.
Leave
it open.
What is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, so here's the grow room. We have tons of blocks in here that are gonna produce 200, 300 pounds of mushrooms in only a couple days.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's what got me into this. Starting from literally nothing, you guys can see here, little tiny pin sets starting to form. This happened within,
right there, right?
Yeah, this happened within 2 days. And then in another 2 days, they'll literally turn into giant, full-fledged mushrooms to harvest and sell. This is one of the largest mushroom blocks ever produced. And in just a couple of days, we are going to be harvesting a ton of oyster mushrooms. So the timing is a big thing in this industry. Literally, if the mushrooms wait another day or two, they can kind of get old and not look as nice when you bring them to the market. You want to present them in a manner that's, when the caps are still folded, they're kind of a little more vibrant colored and fresh.
Did you do all of this by yourself?
Yeah, I had a little bit of help from my brothers, but mainly me. Between all the rigid board, the AC unit, different racks in here, wheels, everything, lighting, only 7,000.
All right, more than I thought. So what's the best mushroom then to grow for beginners, if you had to choose?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first, you want to pick something that's easy to grow, and two, that sells for a premium price.
Oh yeah.
And that would be the oyster mushroom. Super quick to grow. It's very easy. It's most beginner friendly and resilient. You can grow it in a home. You can grow in your backyard. So you might be fighting other molds and bacterias. Your growing might be not the best shape, because if you're starting out, you probably don't have the best equipment. And the oyster mushroom tends to just grow vigorously. And because of that, you're likely gonna have good success harvesting and selling it later. Its shelf life isn't the best, but it's one that I would stick with. Super cheap, easy to grow.
Oyster mushroom, how much per pound?
For selling retail, right to its consumer, I sell it for $20 half a pound. So $40 a pound, pretty crazy margins.
Okay.
It only cost you probably, and that's first flush, keep in mind.
And 0 to when you're harvesting and selling, what's the time frame?
7 to 10 days.
That's it.
That's it. Once you get stuff set up, you pretty much just take trash, turn it into treasure.
For beginners, what's the bare minimum space that you need to get started?
It's not very big. You can start just with the grow kits or blocks.
One block?
Right on your kitchen table. And then from there, once you get comfortable, you can make your own little grow hut. There's actually good little kits you can get online that have the whole system already built in for you.
Yeah.
And then you can have maybe a couple tiers of lion's mane, oyster mushrooms growing, and harvest them and sell them.
Easy.
Or eat them.
Are you tired of beating your head against the wall trying to figure out what business you should start? You good, Hunter?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Well, UpFlip's brand new niche finder can help, and it's free. Compare 500 plus business ideas using US Census Bureau data and other leading industry research so that you can actually find a business that fits you. So click the link in the description to get your free access now.
Go ahead, click it.
Listen, when we walked in, it was super foggy in here. What's doing that? I'm guessing it's this box here.
It's basically just a CPU fan.
Computer CPU fan.
Yep, that's
Waterproof.
it. Waterproof.
Probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
waterproof.
Ideally.
And then this is just a trash bin I bought from Walmart.
Let's take a look what's inside.
And then we have a pond fogger.
And what did you not learn off of YouTube?
Nothing. This whole business was built with YouTube. Literally. From learning how to cultivate and grow good quality mushrooms to building this entire room.
No excuse not to get started.
No,
and be successful.
This is the one place in time in history where knowledge is given to everybody and it's up to you to use it.
Amen. Let's see how this works.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is what mushrooms need to start growing. What do you guys think? Are you gonna get in the mushroom world? Comment below. Why or why not? Pros and cons. Love to hear your thoughts on that. All right, so we just came from the kitchen, boiled for 30 minutes. What's next?
So after this is done sitting for 10 hours, it's really important we do that because the straw needs to absorb some of that moisture. And also, it's pretty hot still, so it helps to kill even more bacteria over time. And what we're gonna do now is essentially just dump out that excess water.
Water just looks like it's tea, huh?
Yeah, exactly. The trick is to overwhelm any mold or bacteria that could potentially still be alive on this with a ton of mushroom roots.
All right, what do we have, an empty bucket?
Yep, so we have an empty bucket now.
Just totally open it up?
Yep.
Wow, this stuff is really interesting.
And so what you'll do is you can break off little chunks, there you go, and then crumble it up to make a good base layer.
And then we give it some food.
Yes, we'll give it some food. And then you'll do another layer.
Okay.
You'll do this all the way till it's full.
What are the startup costs involved in this business? Give us 2 to 3 scenarios, different budget points.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically how I started was, and looking to grow into a business, was getting a grow kit. So I got a grow kit from the store, grew.
How much is it?
$20.
Okay.
$20 grow kit. You can get it from really any grocery store, and then you can grow your first little batch of mushrooms. You could sell those mushrooms if you wanted to as well. Once you get beyond that phase, you're looking more at the $150 range, where then you can start to get maybe some substrate from your local grocery store. You need a pot. You can use that grow kit, expand it, break it apart, and put it on that material, and it'll actually grow. So you might be able to get away with more like a $50 build. You could probably take that exact grow kit that cost you $20 and mix it in with substrate where maybe you spent 30, 40 bucks on, and then you could probably grow 5, 10, 20 times as much mushroom as you did from that one kit.
Say I've got $1,000 to my name and I want to get going in this business. What would you buy right away? Give us a quick answer.
If you got $1,000, you're gonna want a grow tent. You're gonna need a place to put them in, to store them, so they have a good environment to grow. That's probably the biggest next step.
What about 10K? I mean, I want to go all in day one. How would you spend that?
You wanna get maybe a shed, a whole shed. You can rip it out and convert like maybe a little section to a small lab area. And then you could have a whole other section with the grow room, AC unit in one corner. It would be tight, but you could really pump out some mushrooms because
Lab, grow.
That's it.
Marketing, how much are you spending per month?
Zero.
Absolutely zero.
Nothing.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So mostly word of mouth then. What else?
Word of mouth, the community that I've just known and grew up in. And then obviously the markets, the farmers markets are a huge benefit. That's how I've really gotten my name out there really fast.
All right, it's time to harvest some mushrooms. You don't have a lot left, but walk us through just doing one of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we know these are ready to harvest?
Yeah, so with the oyster mushroom, it's when the cap starts to tilt up. And this is actually perfect time to pick them.
It's not too early, huh? You
No.
know, you got some smaller guys here.
Yeah, exactly. And basically you'll just take the very base, twist, and pull, just like that.
Wait, that's it?
That's it.
Let me try. So base, twist, that's it.
The bottom is essentially some of the substrate, which we don't want to eat.
Right.
That's why sometimes I will go through and clip the bases.
Beautiful. And we're actually gonna ship these out or deliver these to maybe somebody later today.
Yep.
So why don't we save these? What's the,
Lion's mane?
Yeah.
This is a super dense, thick, meaty mushroom. Basically what I'll do is I'll come over the top and just kind of pull down on it.
Oh, that's easier than I thought. Come on, buddy. There you go.
Stubborn.
But even more beautiful. Look at that. What does lion's mane sell for on terms of per pound?
Same as my oysters, actually. $20 a pound.
20 bucks?
Retail. And then wholesale's a little different, $10 a pound.
Obviously, you prefer retail.
Yeah.
Higher profit margins there.
There's a trade-off, right? So if I am selling retail, I have to stand physically at the markets or pay someone else to do it. And that takes a lot of time, where I could be growing more mushrooms or doing more things on the farm. Now, the wholesale side of the business, you know, you drop off mushrooms and you go. Really good money when the margins are, even selling wholesale, they're still like 95%.
Okay. Yeah.
Once you take care of the cost of the equipment.
Gotcha. This right here, we've got maybe what, 1 or 2, 3 pounds at most?
Yeah, probably 2.5 pounds.
What are you gonna do today? Are we doing retail delivery or wholesale?
We're gonna wholesale them to a restaurant. We're gonna add a little more mushrooms that I have in the fridge.
Cool.
Drop it off. This bunch right here probably sell for 30 bucks.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Keep in mind, that's a second flush. So the first flush, this block right here is producing me at retail close to 60, wholesale 30, 35 bucks.
And the cost of the block?
$1.
A buck?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What does it cost to get into the farmer's market for you? Because I know it eats away at the profit margin.
Yeah. All depends on the farmer's market. So I do one in Scranton. That's 3 days a week. It's a huge market. Thousands of people come through there. That's only 1,200 bucks.
Wait, they charge you 1,200 bucks to show up?
Ow. No, for the whole year.
Oh, for the whole year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll make that back in 2 days.
Do you like farmer's market more or less? Why or why not? Versus just personally reaching out, phone calls, social media? What do you think about that?
Yeah, me personally, I love talking to people, getting to know people. Not only do I get to meet the community that I'm selling to, but chefs will come to the markets. The farmers markets have expanded my business, connections, contacts, other restaurants, chefs.
Business is more than just the product, right? It's the relationship that's there.
Oh,
you don't get that unless you're face to face.
100%.
Again, not too glamorous. I just want to point that out, right?
I know.
What do we have here? Are these new blocks ready for planting?
So these are all blocks that'll be ready in about, down here, shiitake, 2 months, and up here, maitake, another month.
I know I said plantain. You'll probably just comment below, be like, dude, this guy still has no idea what he's talking about. Got to get my terminology right.
You'll learn.
The mushrooms are inside already.
Yeah.
Are they not?
You'll start to see little webs starting to shoot up, and they'll eventually turn into like a black, grayish kind of mushroom called a maitake mushroom. And then down here, we have a shiitake mushroom. These will take another 2 months. These blocks will turn completely brown, like dark brown.
You say 2 months. I thought we were talking about 7 to 10 days for a mushroom.
Oyster species.
Oh, just the oyster species. So not every mushroom is 7 to 10 days.
No, I don't do a lot of these. I only sell these retail.
See.
Because big farms,
special.
Yeah, very special. Big farms, not the most profitable either. But I do it because my retailers love it, and I get a premium there.
How much does a typical customer buy, pounds?
Usually when I get an order from a chef, I'll sell anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds on average, and that's what their order request will be.
What about the retail guy? Just a couple pounds for home, make a meal?
Oh, it all depends. So I have a big vegan clientele. I've had people take a whole table. Like they'll just wipe out 120 bucks, boom, buy them all and go.
I wonder what they do with that much mushrooms.
Yeah, you just put in everything. Great meat substitute. Huh. Really good meat substitute, especially that lion's mane, super good. Grill it, steaks, they love it.
Boom. What's the story on your first customer ever?
Yeah, so it's funny. I actually have a check framed on the wall at the house. It's my first ever box of mushrooms sold. It was
inspiration.
Yeah, it was like for 33 bucks. I basically grew my first batch of mushrooms in high school when I was 17. And it was in class, actually. My teacher said, hey, my wife owns a brewery. Do you want to go try and deliver to her? I know you're starting this up. I ended up dropping off just a small little box of mushrooms for them. I got paid and I was so excited.
And that's awesome.
It was so awesome.
You remember the feeling, kind of what was going through your head? Like, man, I'm going to blow it up into $1 million company, or what do you think?
It's euphoric. Like, I got it more excited about the fact that someone validated that I could make this a business.
Cool. Well, we're done harvesting. This is what we got for today. What's next? Packaging?
Yeah, we're gonna box these up, and you'll just grab mushrooms. I like to start on the edges.
We're not using any paper on the inside or anything.
No.
Really no need, right?
No.
I wouldn't waste any mushrooms.
Yeah, don't waste any of that.
Oh, these guys. We didn't see that. Where are we taking this? What's the chef? What's the restaurant?
Yeah, we're gonna take this to the Glass restaurant. We're gonna be talking to the sous chef. He is going to be cooking up a couple of our mushrooms, and we're gonna get to try them.
I'm excited. But before we do that, I'm interested to show our audience your actual numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you ready to break those down?
I'm ready.
In detail?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do 25 rev. Where were you at?
So I did a total of $36,657.
Okay.
Keep in mind that's within the season.
Yes. Which was how many months?
Really the biggest season, most of my revenue comes within 3 months.
3 months. Okay, let's talk about expenses. Just shoot them out to me. What's the category?
Supplies, $2,330. Then we have fees, $2,982. Media, $2,517. Donations, $530. Energy, $286.
Hang on, let me. 286.
Grow materials, $2,837. And then gas, $2,615.
2,000. Whoa, 615. That's a big line item.
Yeah. And equipment, $2,713.
Equip. What else for that year, for 2025?
We got some subscriptions, $129.
Food for Hunter to eat, right? What is it?
46 bucks. I don't eat much.
46.11 I see on your app. Is that it?
Oh yeah, miscellaneous.
That's
Just random stuff. That's why I skipped it.
467. That's okay. So your total expense was
$17,474.
Okay, so you guys, for 2025, brought in 36,657. All expenses 17,474, leaves us with a net percentage point is at 48%. And the important thing about 2025 that you mentioned, I think is important to know, is you spent more than you needed to. Why was that?
Yeah, just equipment. Well, as a business, you want to take advantage of that year's, tax cycle. So naturally, I bought a couple extra things that are going to grow my business in the future that aren't necessarily necessary for growing mushrooms. Media equipment, some miscellaneous stuff.
So this 48% could potentially be 50 to 60 net profit. Now that's a business worth pursuing and scaling and growing. If you guys have any questions about any of these numbers, comment below, challenge us, question us. Hunter's right here to answer them. So out of the 36,657 in 25, what was the source of that revenue?
75% of all my business was retail, selling at farmers markets. I actually did a little market on the corner there. All that came from that, and
the rest is restaurants.
25% restaurants.
Now somebody may say, oh, he's not making 10K a month for 12 months out of a year, obviously.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Because this is a seasonal thing for you still.
100%. Yeah, my area is very heavily populated in the summer months. And as we drift off into fall, the restaurant sales, farmers markets will stop or slow down, and it basically comes to an end where I pick up some other things. I'll still grow all year round, deliver to a couple local restaurants, but this is the time right now where I make my big sum of money.
Could you get to a point when you're at 10K a month for 12 months? Because, I mean, the demand is just year round.
Not in this area, to be honest. But that being said, there's some other avenues I am looking at right now. I'm actually doing and having a lot of success in grow kits online. So people love to grow mushrooms at home. They can put them on their little counter, windowsill. It's a fun project for kids, a great gift. So I'm finding that's actually really big. And then also like different media things like YouTube.
Gotcha. What's the biggest bottleneck that's keeping you from selling more right now?
Yeah, it's really my time. So I have 5 markets a week that I'm going to be at. I'll be packed out and I have to produce for all those markets and chefs. So it's going to be having enough product. That's going to be difficult, and having enough time so I can produce it all.
And the seasonality you mentioned earlier on, what does that look like on the busiest weeks of the year?
Yeah, it's crazy. So as we
How
get
many
closer,
hours are you putting in?
yeah. So as we get closer to Labor Day, I've done 1,500 in a day. Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's crazy for me.
What does the work day look like in terms of hours?
I'll spend most of my time at markets. So 5 markets a week. Each market's probably 5 hours. They're a little different times of the day as well.
All right.
And then all the other time I'm coming home, making blocks, preparing mushrooms, boxing things up, going to the grow room every morning. I would estimate probably
Peak season.
60, 80 hours a week.
This is what we built, right? You guys seen the process?
Very simple.
And after how many days will the bucket look like
This has been 4 days.
Tell us what's going on inside the bucket.
Yeah, so all these little tiny microscopic webs are shooting out in all different directions.
That's not the bad kind of mold you shouldn't be
No,
touching and
it's
breathing,
good.
right?
No, it's good. It's all good stuff.
As far as holes, what's the idea there? You've
Yeah.
drilled a couple, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So if you have a lid, you can throw it over the top, which I actually recommend. It's you know, get a lid for it. That way it holds all the moisture inside. And then you could puncture a couple holes around the bucket. This is gonna allow our mushrooms to be forced out wherever there's oxygen. You could actually probably do a little bit bigger than a pinprick, and they would start to force their way out and then grow. After 10 days, you'll walk outside and see mushrooms starting to grow off your bucket.
That's it.
That's it.
So this is one of the restaurants, hotels that you deliver to.
Yep, this is. Beautiful place.
Let's go make this delivery. Man, this place has cool vibes.
Yeah, right?
Wow. Let's go.
So I'm gonna drop these off to Kendrick.
Any questions? Anything particular that you look for when you get a delivery, for example?
We look at the quality of it and mostly just what kind of mushrooms he brings in.
Isn't that a beauty?
Yeah, mainly what we use these for are our side dishes. We'll braise it with some white wine or red wine, depending on what we got, some soy sauce.
Ah, sounds good. Can't wait to try a meal. This complements the steak. It almost looks like steak.
I know.
How long have you been delivering to Glass?
Yeah, this is one of my first clients. So 5 years now, probably. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yes.
The consistency is important, I'm sure.
100%. Yeah, I'm super grateful for this place.
So their typical delivery, 10 to 15 pounds
Yep.
per week. What does that
Yep.
translate to revenue?
Yeah, so it depends on the mushroom species. Some of the mushrooms that take a little longer are a little more pricey. So you can expect anywhere from $150 to $250.
Gotcha. What are they looking for? What's most important to a restaurant when they're buying mushrooms from you?
They could just go buy from a giant distributor, and usually those things don't look as good as what you can potentially bring if you're a local. So literally you can grow the mushrooms within a couple days and just drop them off. And that way they're as fresh as possible.
Even more important, I wonder if the locality, the relationship supersedes all of those things, right? You're here,
I would
you show
agree.
up, you smile. Yeah, if I'm here to take care of you and your customers, what can I do?
Yeah, 100%. Like my name, my face, over the years, just accruing the connections has been probably the most important thing about selling my product.
What's the best way to approach a new restaurant, a new chef?
Yeah, you want to be happy to come in, joyful and excited to bring them something that you genuinely care about. I think the most important thing is to show that you love what you do so much. Some people will turn you away, and that's fine. But luckily, coming in with a good attitude, coming more than once or twice is how I've accrued all my clientele.
What does that conversation sound like? And I'm guessing timing is important too. I know the restaurant business and chefs running a kitchen is extremely busy.
100%. Yeah, your odds of, first try getting a client are slim, but they get a lot slimmer if you don't pick a time that's appropriate for them. They're gonna be super busy, they might be prepping, they're gonna be soon cooking for a ton of people, and the life of a chef is just very chaotic. So you wanna be respectful of their time and try to get them at a part of their workday that's appropriate.
What are the pros and cons for beginners when it comes to selling to restaurants versus farmers markets?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. When you're selling at farmers markets, you're gonna get top dollar. Now, the downside of that is the fact that you have to stand there or hire someone else to sit there and consistently sell. Now, when it comes to wholesale, the nice thing is you could be an introvert. You do want to meet some chefs, right? You got to talk, a little conversation, but you really can come, drop off the mushrooms, go home, make more mushrooms, or enjoy the rest of your day.
On a farmer's market, you're there all day. How much money are you potentially able to make?
Yeah, I've made $1,000 in a day at the market.
It's not bad. Versus coming into a restaurant, dropping off a $150 order for the week.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But on the other side, you can have a whole bunch of wholesale clients.
True, and all
do
you
a
do
route,
delivery.
bing, 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 bring home some money.
Wow. Looks simple, but looks delicious.
Yeah, it looks so good.
What's it like seeing something like this on the plate that you had a major part in growing? You didn't grew the mushroom.
Yeah, I mean,
and didn't.
I still get that, euphoric feeling when I grew my very first batch. And then, I get to come to a restaurant and they're actually using it to serve to hundreds of people. It's so cool.
Let's dive in before it gets cold. Since the start of the dish is going to be the mushroom, I want to go for that first.
Go for it.
Yeah. This complements the steak. It almost looks like steak.
I know.
So
thick, meaty. Wow.
Yeah. Nature's steak with some beef steak. That's good. I haven't tried lion's mane.
Really? That's the first time you had lion's mane?
I believe so. Yeah. Like I said.
Even after another mushroom farmer interview?
Yeah.
They didn't let you have any?
We didn't get a chance then.
Oh.
I can see why people substitute lion's mane specifically for the steak if you're a vegan, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now you understand.
Man, we devoured that pretty quick. What has this business taught you that you think you would have not learned otherwise? I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only been a money maker for me, but it's taught me many things personally. Some of those things just being, on the business side, taxes, different customer relationships, just meeting different people in different sectors. Heck, you guys are here because of the business. So I've seen God work in the business, the entire business. I love to incorporate my faith in everything that I do, and Jesus is so important to me. And how I operate, my ethics of my business, and the decisions that I make, I always try to pin up against the Lord. And I hope to continue to glorify God with my business, try to have a positive impact, a smile on my face, just make this world a little better, bring heaven down to earth.
What's one struggle right now that you would love to get help, to get clarity on? Ask our viewers. Maybe somebody will reach out through something they know, and you'll partner up, collab, and scale it.
Yeah, I really want to grow the world's longest edible mushroom and deliver it to the one and only Nick DiGiovanni. I bag up, I have this giant mushroom that's nearly 2 feet tall.
Okay,
and I deliver it. 2 feet? Yeah, and I deliver it to the world's most famous chef.
I think that will be realized much sooner than you think.
That'd be so awesome.
Let's make it happen. If you liked seeing how Hunter built his mushroom business from home, you got to check out episode 194 with Sundown, who turned his garage into a $200,000 a year mushroom farm. Check it out right here. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.